Hi, my name's John, amateur radio call sign M7CBT. Welcome to Amateur Radio on the Air. So you've just passed your foundation test and now you've got your call sign. Now you're an M7. Let me first begin by saying congratulations. I remember it's not always easy for everyone. But now what? Probably the most important advice I could give you is to join a club. They have information that you will need over the coming years, and they will be able to advise you, especially a local club, on conditions locally. They'll tell you what to expect, how you may be going wrong in certain aspects, and help you along the way. Because of the current state of the human malware virus, try and get a club that does virtual meetings. One phrase you'll hear once you've actually joined a club is to choose an elmer. Now, an elmer is a mentor who you should choose carefully. You want one that will give you challenges as well as encouragement and helping you when you need it. The elmer that is best for you may not be the one you expect. Take your time. A lot of you would have done what I did before I even passed my license and bought a small, cheap handy talkie or walkie-talkie, so you could actually have a listen to what's going on the band, see if you actually found it interesting. There are plenty of videos on YouTube as to how to program this using a program called Chirp, C-H-I-R-P. The program is free and widely used. I'll place a link in the description below for a website that will actually tell you what repeaters are in your area, what frequencies they use, and what tones to use in order to access them. The following advice was originally part of what were practicals. Unfortunately, since the human malware virus, practicals have not been in place. If you have joined a club that has the ability, you may be able to request to be put through the practicals after the current crisis is over and done with. I'll place a link in the description below for a playlist that the RSGB have put out demonstrating the actual practicals. There are a number of things to bear in mind later on when it comes to actually buying your own equipment, as modern radios do actually incorporate a lot of the aspects that they detail. You'll most likely make your first FM contacts using simplex on this radio. The calling frequencies are 145.500 and 433.500. Now, when using frequencies on these bands, they don't normally tell you the 145 or the 433. For example, my club's net frequency is 145.375, and if you catch a call on the calling channel and requested to go to that frequency, they will normally just start off by saying try 375. Don't forget to add in 145 before that. They do this for convenience, don't worry. When you feel ready, you can call CQ using the slide next to me. This one comes from Essex Ham. Don't just pay attention to actually calling CQ. Pay attention to the following stages. You don't want to be messed up when you first start. You need to know when to use their call sign, when to use your call sign. And this happens all the way through the conversation and right up to the end. If you're in a club net or a rag true, you will normally find that the other person will prompt you to use your call sign by giving you theirs. One thing that is actually incorporated into a lot of modern radios are high pass filters. So check the specification of the radio that you're planning to buy to see if you will actually need additional high pass filters. In the practicals, you would have been shown how to tune an antenna. Now, not all antennas have the ability to be tuned. A lot of them are pre-tuned without adjustment. Others have different methods of adjustment, but you should always, if adjustment is there, have it adjusted so you've got the lowest possible SWR. The practicals show you how to use a manual tuning unit for the antenna, either called an antenna matching unit or an antenna tuning unit. These do not actually tune or match the antenna. What they do is they tell the radio the antenna is matched. They are not 100%, so be sure to get the lowest SWR first, then go to the tuner. In addition to this, the demonstration would have been with a manual tuner. There are automatic tuners available. In addition to this, a lot of modern radios have an automatic tuner built in, but the built-in tuners are only capable of matching an SWR of 3:1. If you wish to learn Morse code, there are two programs on my right. The first one, you can just type into Google G4FOM and that will give you a free download, and the second one is called Just Learn Morse Code. Both use similar methods to actually teach Morse code, and I have found them very interesting, although I've still got a way to go. There are also a number of data modes, a couple that I find personally interesting are FT8 and FT4. In order to use these, you need to download a program called WSJTX. All you have to do is simply type that into Google on the search engine, and again, it's a free download. On the HF bands, you'll want to check your band plan for any particular calling frequencies on that particular band. A lot of them are just labelled centre of activity. If the band plan does not have any mention of a calling channel or centre of activity, then simply find a frequency within the section allocated to the type of modulation you want to use, whether that's sideband, AM or FM, and check the frequencies clear and call CQ there. Sometimes you'll hear people calling CQDX. Now this is an old term that means long distance. Now depending on which band you're on and which mode you're in will govern what DX actually means. In the majority of cases it is referring to a call that's going out to another continent. When you are calling CQ, I'd recommend you avoid calling CQDX for now. Also add /QRP to your call sign so that they know that you're on low power. Not every country will know what an M7 restrictions are. Another thing with calling CQ with a QRP on the end of your call sign, it points out that your receive is better than your transmission. Therefore, you are more likely to actually hear the person that can hear you. Also, make the most of your M7 prefix. It is still considered a pretty rare prefix for ham radio because it's only just come out. Also, make the most of your call sign. Make it last a little bit longer by placing a pause between each letter. In my instance, Mike 7 Charlie Papa Tango, or M7 CPT. When you call in CQ, use your call sign twice at least. Once using normal letters, M7 CPT, and once using phonetics, Mike 7 Charlie Papa Tango. In addition to this, don't forget to add /QRP to the end of your call sign. You do not need to do this every time. It can be a bit annoying if you're doing it constantly throughout a call. Also, apply these simple techniques too when you're trying to break a pile up. Pause between each letter of your call sign, add QRP onto the end. Sometimes the person that you're trying to reach doesn't always hear, but somebody else that gets on just before you might, and quite often they will actually mention there is a QRP station there trying to call you. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it informative. Please hit the like button if you did so. Also, in order to catch future videos, don't forget to click subscribe and then click the bell icon to select all in order to receive the notifications. Also, please feel free to share the video with any social media that you actually use. Catch you on the air.